There's a Pokemon challenge that takes random to a whole nother level. It's called Kaizo Ironmon, and it makes the Nuzlocke of your favorite Pokemon game look like Weenie Hut Jr. Your starting Pokemon? Random. All the trainers Pokemon? Random. All the grass Pokemon? Random. At the start of the game, it starts just like any other Pokemon Emerald game. In the back of a truck because your parents don't love you. Then you set your time and then teleport to Route 101 because this is a specialized version of the game specifically made for this challenge. You pick up your randomized item, which happens to be a nest ball for us. Normally this item is in the PC. And we look at our starters, which are Wobbuffet, Sentret, and Tailo. And of course you need to pick these randomly, and we chose Left Gang. So we got a Tailo. And if you can look at this Tailo, you could tell that it's not no normal Tailo. Its moves, randomized. Its ability, randomized. Its stat distribution looks somewhat normal, but it is actually randomized. So after defeating the Paris that was terrorizing Professor Birch, for normal runs, you would normally just run straight to Route 103 to face your rival, but we collected a nest ball already, which unlocked pivoting. You see, you're only allowed to use one Pokemon in this challenge, and this Tailo sucks. So we find a Feraligatr instead, name it NBA Center because in the Pokedex entry, it's 7 feet 7 inches tall, which is ridiculous. In a quick look at this Gator, it's incredible. Its stat distribution, perfect. Its ability, Lightning Rod, doesn't really do anything in Gen 3. But the real showstopper is him having Tail Glow and Ice Beam already. All he needs are 2 more good special moves. And for the folks in the back, Tail Glow increases your special attack by 2. It's like Swords Dance, but for special attacks. It gives +3 in later gens. And now, this seems like a great time to gain experience on wild Pokemon. Except for you can't. You're only allowed to gain experience by facing trainers. So it's time to face our rival. But wait a second. Why does our rival have a level 8 and we have a level 5? That's because the levels are boosted by 60%. And thanks to our rival throwing, we were able to defeat him easily. And honestly, that normally doesn't happen. There's a reason why that reset number is up to 640. And just in case you guys don't really know how this challenge works, when you reset, the whole file gets reset, re-randomized every single time you lose your one Pokemon. And now this is when we need to start beefing up our NBA Center. We have to defeat trainers. And while we were training up, our special boy learns a special move, Petal Dance, which is kind of mid, but we'll take it. We still need to beef up our boy though, so we need to defeat the rest of the trainers on 104, Petalburg Woods, and Route 116, just to end up at Roxanne's door. And the rules for the gym are simple. Once you enter, you can't leave. You must defeat every single trainer in there and the gym leader to leave. But you might be wondering, how do you heal up? Are items legal? Yes, but only the randomized items on the map that you pick up. You cannot buy items at the shop. Well, unless they're Pokeballs or Repels, but they're not really useful in a gym setting. So we easily defeat her 3 goons, and then it's now time to face her, which is also light work because we just get 3 Tail Glows up in front of her Vulpix and proceed to sweep with Ice Beam. And for our efforts, we get TM39, Transform. The TMs are randomized as well, and the TMs that you gain from gym leaders are the only ones that you're allowed to use. But Transform is trash. We rescue a bird from Rust Turf Tunnel, clear out the rest of Route 116, and we sail to Dewford Town. Now at Dewford Town, we take out a couple of fishermen, go to Granite Cave, and say hello to Steven. We now find ourselves in front of Brawly's gym, who is an early game run killer. This is like the equivalent of Brock in Fire Red and Leaf Green. And you might be wondering, why are we facing Brawly now? You could totally just skip him and go to the next town. But you see, that is illegal. It's against the rules. You have to face Brawly before you move on. And this gym is tough because you have to defeat 6 trainers and then Brawly as your second gym. And it was pretty smooth sailing through this entire gym until the trainer right before Brawly. It had a Rapidash with Volt Tackle, causing us to burn one of our most precious heals. They don't really come around all that often. We end up defeating him, and the TM that he rewards us with is Poison Gas, which is kind of trash. But we end up learning it anyways because it is Shedinja coverage. And Shedinja is the only Pokemon in this entire challenge that actually keeps its ability. Now it is time to go on a trainer grind. I'm talking all the trainers in Slayport City, Route 110, 111, 117, and 118. Yes, I read those from a list. But interesting note is the soda pop shop on the beach in Slayport City, because if you defeat all the trainers in there, you get 6 soda pops, which are amazing for this challenge. At one point, facing a random biker, we do level up to 38 and we end up learning the move Feint Attack, which is huge because all dark moves are special in this gen, and we get to learn it over poison gas, and it's also still Shinichi coverage. And once again, we find ourselves standing in front of another gym, Watson's. And we're gonna be honest, Watson's gym, super easy. And for our efforts for defeating Watson, he gives us the TM for Smog. Trash. And it is now time for yet another trainer grind, finishing off 111, 113, 114, and 115. I read those from a list as well. To end up at Fiery Path to find Team Magma, honestly not doing anything wrong. And after taking down some Team Magma grunts, it is now time to face Maxi, which honestly, this part is a pretty common reset point in this challenge, but Tail Glow is busted. And we kind of take out Maxi kind of easily. Dude, Ice Beam just super effective every single time? Hey, yo? Well, you're not very scary, so I'm just gonna Feint Attack you, and then you go down, and then we have Ice Beam or Petal Dance for the final mon, and you're done. Goodbye, Pincer. Now with Team Magma gone, you go back to Fiery Path, clear out the trainers there, and clear out the trainers in Jagged Pass. But it is now time to pick up another gym badge, Flannery. And the thing that makes this gym difficult is the amount of trainers that you have to face before Flannery. You have 8 people that you have to defeat. But we do manage to make it to Flannery with all our Ice Beams. But she has a Kingdra that we can't one-shot, and it manages to slow us down, making it possible for a Heracross to give us the sweetest of kisses. And what-oh, for some odd reason, the RNG gods decided to give him Megahorn for some reason, but then we ended up giving NBA Center some secret stuff and Flannery became no problem. A freshwater, that's what secret stuff is. And Flannery rewards us with the TM for Sky Uppercut, which honestly, not that bad of a move, but it's awful for our Pokemon. Do you see our attack stat? And after Flannery, we go to the desert in 111, clear it out, and it's now time to face Father. So Father's gym is actually a fairly common place to wipe. All the levels are fairly close to yours, and it's just scary. And the 7 trainers before Father proved to be pretty easy, except for the Kingdra that had Poison Point. I hate contact abilities. But now it is time to face Father. And besides an Aggron that is fast, has really good special defense, and Haze, Father proved no match for NBA Center. And for our reward, a TM that has Iron Defense. And you guessed it, that's trash. But we are also rewarded something else after defeating Father, the HM for Surf, which would be perfect for our Feraligatr. Except for it's illegal. You can't use HMs on your main Pokemon, which is a stupid rule, but I kind of get it. Every single Pokemon would probably just learn Surf. That's like literally one of the best moves. But getting Surf does open up the game a lot. You have to go through a very large trainer grind session. Once again, I'm talking about clearing out routes 115, 103, 105, 106, 107, 108, but you don't do abandoned ship here. 109, 118, 123, and 119. So let's just skip that. So you do eventually end up at Weather Institute. And this is something that this challenge would call a dungeon. This would normally show up like way earlier for other games, but this one kind of shows up kind of late. Once you enter a dungeon, you cannot leave the dungeon and heal. However, difference between dungeons and gyms are you don't need to defeat every single trainer in dungeons, except for it is to your benefit to defeat trainers just to get more experience. And we end up defeating all the trainers in Weather Institute. And for our reward, more trainer grinding. That's right, we need to clear out routes 119, go past Fort Tree City. We don't do that gym yet. Route 120, 121, and then you defeat your rival in Lily Cove City, which is also light work. Now we go back to Fort Tree City so we can defeat Winona at her gym. And I'm going to be honest, this might be the easiest gym in this entire game for this challenge. You see, we are level 73 before we even walk into the gym, and Winona's ace is level 53. And besides getting a status a couple times in her gym, the gym was very light work. And our reward, a TM that is actually useful. Water gun. Or that's what I would say if we were able to learn it. So you know the drill. More trainer grind. Defeat all the trainers on routes 122 and 123. Mount Pyre is considered a dungeon as well. And honestly, it's pretty easy. We wipe the floor with some grunts, and then for dessert, we go to the interior of Mount Pyre and wipe the floor with some regular trainers as well. Immediately after Mount Pyre, we go to Magma Hideout, which is actually the largest dungeon of the game. However, also light work. We defeat all the trainers there, get to Maxi, max out our special attack, and just sweep his team. We crash an interview, see a submarine get stolen, then we chase down the perpetrators, Team Aqua, wreck their hideout, face the one guy protecting the submarine just to defeat him and see them get away anyways. And now, after Team Aqua, this is when the game really opens up. The entire map is now open to us. A lot of people have the complaint about Gen 3 that there's a lot of surfing in it. That's because of this part. And you know how I've been listing all the routes that we need to clear out? We just got to clear out the rest of them. And we're going to pretend that this never happened because this takes forever. So on to the next thing. We are on to Gym 7, Tate and Liza's gym. Now, this is not an over-exaggeration. This is one of the hardest battles in the entirety of all games for Kaizo Ironmon. Tate and Liza. You see, the main goal for this challenge is basically just don't get hit, because if you don't get hit, you can't die unless Perish Song or Destiny Bond, but those are two exceptions that we absolutely hate. Since Tate and Liza is a forced double battle, you're almost guaranteed to get hit 5 times unless you have a move that can hit both of the Pokemon. We don't have one of those, but luckily for us, Tate and Liza start with a Spinda out front. And my goal is just to keep that Spinda out on the field as long as possible and defeat all the Pokemon to the left. I am banking on the fact that Spinda does not have Perish Song, because if it does, the run just ends. And the strategy works out. We defeat Tate and Liza. And once again, we are looking for a good TM because Petal Dance is kind of a liability. And they give us Rain Dance. And I believe this goes without saying, trash. And immediately after the gym, we basically have to go to the Space Center to see Team Magma. Honestly, not doing anything wrong. But it is kind of funny that you go from Tate and Liza, which is the most difficult double battle in all of Kaizo Ironmon, to Maxi and Grunt, which is the second toughest double battle of all of Kaizo Ironmon. And besides a mild explosion scare, explosion's terrifying, Maxi and Grunt goes down pretty easily. So now we go to Steven's house. He gives us the HM for dive, and the only thing really left to do is item cleanup. You dive for a bunch of hidden items, and we also do abandoned ship, which at this point in the game is really, really easy. Now we arrive at Seafoam Cavern, and honestly, this dungeon's probably going to be absolute light work. Team Aqua, yeah right, what a bunch of chumps. Except for there's a Kangaskong with Endeavor that gave us an absolute spook. That Kangaskong made us use 4 of our soda pops from our soda pop shop. But we do make our way to Archie, and the battle is easy. We just get +6 special attack and just Just sweep. We see Kyogre and Groudon beefing with each other, but then we get Dad, and then Dad makes them stop, which makes us a perfect time to immediately do the 8th gym. But the 8th gym is no joke. This has the most amount of Pokemon that you need to defeat. 17 Pokemon before you even face the gym leader, whose name is Juan, like Hungry Box. And as final gym leaders go, my goodness, Juan might have been one of the easiest ones. We actually just really easily defeated him. However, this is our final chance to finally get a good TM that can replace Petal Dance. And Juan gives us self-destruct. Really? But with all the badges collected, it is now time to go through Victory Road. And if you're used to Fire Red or Leaf Green, Victory Road is actually a walkthrough. You don't need to face any trainers in Victory Road. Not an Emerald. Boom! Wally fight right at the beginning. Not only that, 4 other mandatory trainers. But let's be honest with ourselves. We wouldn't be this far into the video if we didn't make it out of Victory Road. Now we find ourselves standing in front of the Elite Four entrance with the same moveset that we've had since the 3rd gym. Only 5 healing items in the bag. But you know what? I don't think that's gonna stop NBA Center from locking it down in the paint. Sydney, the first Elite Four member, sends out a Registeel, which it kind of sucks to ever see a legendary in one of these runs, especially when it's one that resists every single one of your moves. This is before they nerf Steel. However, we have already seen a Registeel, and we already know its special defense is crazy good. So our 2 options are 1, Ice Beam and hope for a freeze, or 2, Tail Glow. Tail Glow is a little bit scary because if it has Perish Song, the run just ends. But we do take the risk and we Tail Glow. And the Registeel decides to use Stun Spore, which is great for us because we have a Lumberry on to heal off the paralysis immediately. And we also know that they will most likely click Stun Spore again next turn because for some odd reason, the AI prioritizes status conditions in this game. So we click Tail Glow again, and we guessed correctly. They do use Stun Spore another time. Now, basically, we have 3 options. And all 3 of them basically get us hit. First is heal off paralysis. 2 is Tail Glow again and max out our special attack. And 3 is Ice Beam and hope that we now have enough special attack to take out the Registeel. I'm gonna eliminate the Ice Beam option immediately because I already kind of had a feeling that I won't be able to eliminate this with an Ice Beam if it's only +4. Healing off paralysis could be useful if I believe that it would actually die to another Ice Beam, but I don't. So I'm going to risk a full paralysis and click Tail Glow again. And fully expecting us to get hit, the Registeel uses growth instead, which is a welcome sight. Anytime you don't get hit, you always take that as a positive. And we don't get full parried, and we max out our special attack. And now this turn, we heal off paralysis. And he decides to use growth again, which is kind of strange, but I'll take it once again. Now we Ice Beam, and we do around 60% of its HP. Luckily, we max out our special attack because we needed it. We heal off the paralysis again, and this time I'm really expecting the Registeel to hit us with something, and it uses growth another time. Now I think that this Registeel probably has nothing. Either way, next turn, I eliminate it with an Ice Beam. Corsola comes out, and you might be like, oh, you have Petal Dance, 4 times super effective. I do not want to get locked into Petal Dance. It's kind of like the grass version of Outrage. It lasts 2 to 3 turns, and then it confuses you at the end. Not great, especially when you don't know which Pokemon are coming next. So we hit Feint Attack instead. Lasered. Blaziken is up next, which is also a scary mon because it resists every single one of our moves again. However, we know from earlier encounters with Blaziken that it doesn't have very high special defense. So an Ice Beam should be able to take it out. Another Laser. Ninetales. Feint Attack. Laser. Cast Form. Ice Beam. Laser. Volbeat. Ice Beam. Laser. And just like that, that is already 1 Elite Four member down with no damage taken. That's actually unheard of. Really. Second Elite Four member, Phoebe. She starts with a Sudowoodo. However, before the battle even started, I made a large mistake. You see, we used our Lumberry in the last battle, I forgot to attach another Lumberry. But it's too late now. We gotta keep it pushing. Sudowoodo is a great Pokemon to see right out the gate because it's pretty weak, very low BST, and I want to click Tail Glow against it, but I'm still scared, shaking my little boots, that it has Perish Song. Like seriously, like Sudowoodo's BST is like 410. Game Freak, get this man an evolution already or something. I continue to bank on the fact that we will not run into Perish Song. So we click Tail Glow. And the Sudowoodo doesn't hit us again. It actually uses Spite, taking away some of our power points to our Tail Glow, which I am perfectly okay with. So I don't really care if we continue to lose power points to Tail Glow. So I just keep clicking Tail Glow. And guess what? It spites us again and we lose more power points to Tail Glow. And now our third turn, I click Tail Glow again, but this time, Sudowoodo decides to hit Psychic. Our first damage of all of the Elite Four. And of course, it hits us for a crit. However, now our special attack is maxed out and we can just laser the Sudowoodo with a feint attack. Hariyama is sent out. Ice Beam, laser. Dodrio sent out. Ice Beam, laser. Then Melodic is sent out. And I don't want to click Petal Dance here. So I'm going to hit Feint Attack. And it does just under 50% damage. And this gives the chance for Melodic to Rock Slide us. Thanks to our prior engagements, we already know that Melodic has Truant, the worst ability in the game. And if you don't know what that ability is, it's the one that Slacking has, which makes you only move every other turn, which means we can just hit with another feint attack and the Melodic will do nothing. However, this does bring up something interesting about Truant. You see, people believe that Truant activates after the Pokemon just took an action. However, the way it actually works is that there is a predetermined schedule to it. So first turn it's active, second turn it's inactive, third turn it's active, fourth turn it's inactive. If two of the active turns, if you decide if you want to use an item either one of those turns, the next turn it will still be inactive. And I know it will take 3 hits of feint attack to take out this Melodic. Therefore, I just spam feint attack 3 times in a row and we don't get hit by the Melodic again. After that, it's Shedinja, which feint attack, come on, it has 1 HP. And the final Pokemon that Phoebe has is a Celebi, which turns out is faster than NBA Center. However, it decides to use the move Lock On, and I don't understand why, but the AI really prioritize using the move Lock On. I'm not upset about it, but that allows us to just laser it with Ice Beam. Now, this time before facing Glacia, I do remember to equip my Lumberry, and Glacia leads with Dunsparce, which has Drizzle, but that's not the thing that makes it scary. It has the move Transform. Fearing that it might actually turn into us, I use Ice Beam right off the bat. If it transforms into us while we are fully Tail Glowed up, it also transforms into the version of us that is also beefed up. We use Ice Beam again, and now it uses the move Imprison. And Imprison makes it so any moves that you share with the other Pokemon can't use them anymore. So say if that Dunsparce also had Ice Beam, we would no longer be able to use Ice Beam anymore. But it fails because we don't share any moves. However, if this was a later gen and they used Imprison and then transformed into us, we would have 0 moves to use, by the way. But in Gen 3, it just fails and it's not like Imprison is active. So since the second Ice Beam sent it in the heal range, we get a free turn, so I decide to Tail Glow here. So we Ice Beam again. We know this won't eliminate unless it's a crit, or maybe we hope for a freeze. Either way, that Tail Glow was a misplay by me, because if it decided to transform here, it wins the speed tie on the next turn, uses Petal Dance, we have like a less than 10% chance of surviving. However, it uses Imprison instead and making it quick, easy cleanup with Feint Attack. Flareon comes out now, and thanks to prior engagements, we know it's extremely specially bulky. So we have to set up Tail Glows. We click Tail Glow on the first turn. It hits us with Uproar, which is great to see because we know it will be locked into that move for the next 2 to 5 turns. So we max out our special attack. The Flareon continues to Uproar. And since we've been spamming Ice Beam and all the spites from the Sudowoodo taking away our Tail Glows, we actually take this opportunity to use a max elixir to get all our power points back. Then it hits us with Uproar again. We hit it with Feint Attack, and it barely holds on, making it hit us again with Uproar, but this time hitting us for a crit. But since this Flareon isn't really hitting us for much damage except for when it hits a crit on us, I'm going to use this opportunity to heal up with a Hyper Potion. Also, by the way, I don't think I mentioned this yet. You're only allowed to use items within battle. And now Flareon hits us with its final Uproar, and we finish it off with Feint Attack. Omnistar is out next, and I know, super tempting to hit 4x super effective move, yet if we get stuck into it and like the next Pokemon's like a Ho-Oh, I think we're screwed. So I'm just gonna click Feint Attack, but it doesn't die. But it also doesn't matter because for some reason our luck is off the charts right now because it also decides to use Lock On. We finish it off with another Feint Attack. Octillery is up next, and it also is faster than us, but it decides to use the move Camouflage. Honestly, the move luck is like absurd right now. And we hit it with Feint Attack. Now the next turn, it decides to use Charge. It's absurd that we're not getting hit in these scenarios. And I use Ice Beam because I thought Glacia might heal here, and I don't know how many full restores she actually had in her pocket. Jump Bluff, an easy 4x super effective Ice Beam to the face. And last up is ourselves, another Feraligatr. We Pedal Dance. It's actually very simple to defeat ourselves. We actually don't even have good moves at the end of the game because our final 4 moves that we learned are like really bad. On to the final Elite Four member, Drake. He starts with a Blaziken, and we will most likely take some hits here just because the last Blaziken we faced, we were already set up already. So you know the drill, Tail Glow. And Blaziken goes for a Mega Kick, and it misses. Honestly, the luck is unreal. I Tail Glow again. And this time, Blaziken does hit us with the Mega Kick and does 51 damage. And although we are not +6 yet, I do believe Ice Beam will take out this Blaziken through prior engagements with Blazikens. And an Ice Beam does take out Blaziken. Now, Heracross was sent out next. And yes, Heracross is faster than us. Yes, he still has Mega Horn. And yes, I'm shaking my boots. And of course, his Mega Horn crits us. Naturally, since I knew that it had Mega Horn, I did not want to fight this thing for longer than I have to. I clicked Ice Beam immediately, and Ice Beam is able to eliminate the Heracross. Next out is Aggron, which is faster than us, has speed boost, and its special defense and HP are absurdly high. And turn 1, it uses the move, you guessed it, Haze. It still has that move. So all our stats are reset. Turn 1, I do decide to Ice Beam, just hoping that it does click any other move besides Haze. I don't heal because I don't think Aggron has any meaningful stats in attack or special attack just because of how high its special defense is, its HP is, and its speed. But now since the stats are reset, I take this opportunity to use a Hyper Potion. Aggron hits us with his own Ice Beam, doing only like 24 damage. And now I'm getting pretty low on heals, and I click Ice Beam, Raging. In fact, while we get hit by the Aggron's Ice Beam, I say this. Low-key, if we get a freeze, that would be huge. Our Ice Beam ends up freezing the Aggron, which is massive for us. We take this opportunity to Tail Glow up twice and use Ice Beam to take it out. Lapras is next on our list of victims, and we also know this has absurdly good special defense as well. Oh, also, it's faster than us as well. It decides to use Swords Dance turn 1. A little scary, but once again, didn't do any damage to us. And we decide to Tail Glow to max out our special attack. And then the next turn, we must have absolutely spooked this Lapras because it was scared at shaking in little boots and then used Defense Curl. We hit it with Feint Attack. It did around 60% of its HP. And the Lapras, I guess, just wanted to see the sun one more day, use Sunny Day, and we finish it off with a Feint Attack. And now Drake sends out Houndoom, yet another Pokemon that resists every single one of our moves. So we click Ice Beam, and it does around 80% of the HP of the Houndoom. However, the Houndoom clicks String Shot, slowing us down a little bit, but once again, better than getting hit. I know they heal here, but there's nothing that we could really do So we just click Feint Attack, and it turns out we're still faster than the Houndoom anyways. And we click Ice Beam after that and take out the Houndoom. So we end up not getting hit at all against the Houndoom. And Drake's final Pokemon is a Piloswine. And I take this opportunity to max out our Ice Beams again. We use a Max Ether. And Piloswine hits us with Magnitude 5, which does 22 damage. That's actually a lot of damage, by the way. We're really lucky that it rolled so low. And next turn, the Piloswine is faster than us, uses Poison Sting. It does not poison us, and we take it out with Petal Dance, finishing off Drake. That is 24 Pokemon down. And now there's only 6 more to go. It's time to face the champion, Wallace. Wallace leads with an Umbreon, which honestly we didn't really know anything about except for it has Rock Slide and Hydro Cannon. So naturally, turn 1, we click Tail Glow. The Umbreon hits us with Rock Slide, 43 damage. And now at this point, I deem that a suitable amount of damage to take. So I decide to Tail Glow again. Rock Slide again. 48 damage. We are sitting at 94 HP, so that means a high roll critical hit from a Rock Slide will take us out, so I think it is completely necessary to use a Hyper Potion here. We get hit by another Rock Slide, 43 damage. We use our third and final Tail Glow, and then get hit by Rock Slide again, 46 damage. And this is our final setup for the champion. We use an X Speed from the bag. We get hit by another Rock Slide, 41 damage. And now I'm just hoping that we can just proceed through every single Pokemon on the Champions team easily, outspeed them all, and one-shot them all. We use Ice Beam against the Umbreon, lasered. Lunatone comes out, Feint Attack, laser. Victory Bell, Ice Beam, laser. Another Lapras shows up, but we kind of know that it can't do anything. We Feint Attack. It defense curls. We Feint Attack again. Laser. Swampert comes out. And I get it. 4 times super effective move. Why are you not clicking it? It's because I'm scared. Also, through prior engagements, I'm actually pretty sure that Swampert's gonna outspeed us here. So I make the executive decision to use Ice Beam. And guess what? The Swampert is faster than us, and it uses Grudge. If this was Destiny Bond, guess what? The run is over. But since he used Grudge and we do eliminate the Swampert, he actually takes out all our power points for Ice Beam, hoping that we don't need that move for the final Pokemon. And guess what? We don't need those Ice Beams because the final Pokemon is Mew. We have plenty of Feint Attacks. However, we have not seen Mew the entire game. We have no idea if its special defense is good, if it's fast, or if it even has a good move pool. We click Feint Attack. Come on, Mew. Come on. Oh, that's so much HP. That's so much HP. Let's go! Yes! Let's go! That's one whole champion down. The Elite Four and the champion is down. Oh baby. Let's go. Yes, NBA center, welcome to the Hall of Fame. And just like that, we're Kaizo Ironmon champions. Is what I would say if the actual challenge ended here, because it doesn't. No. There is one single roadblock that is keeping NBA Center from being a Kaizo Ironmon champion. And his name is Steven. Steven is one of the toughest, if not the toughest, battle in all of Kaizo Ironmon. We're talking 6 Pokemon, all level 100, while you have to face the most handsome man in the world. But if anyone can do it, it's NBA Center. Steven is out the gate with a Lunatone, and you guys already understand the assignment, okay? We need to click Tail Glow. And we do click Tail Glow. And it's kind of massive. We are faster. However, this Lunatone hits us with the scariest move we've seen so far. Volt Tackle. One of the strongest electric moves into our water boy. And it does 98 damage. So obviously, I don't want to take another one of those. And by this point, one Tail Glow and a Feint Attack are able to take out a Lunatone. However, all those Lunatones have been a lower level than us. And this one is 7 levels higher. So we click Feint Attack here, knowing that if it survives and hits us with a crit Volt Tackle, the run is over. It survives. We get hit by Volt Tackle. It's not a crit. Holy. So at this point, I know Steven will heal. And by judging how much damage that Feint Attack did, I am 95% sure that if we get another Tail Glow up, we are able to laser a Lunatone from full HP. So Steven heals. I Tail Glow. Now I could heal here. However, I don't want to face the rest of Steven's Pokemon down like 100 HP already because our heals are looking rough right now. So I click Feint Attack. And if this does not kill, the run is over. It does take out the Lunatone. And in response, Steven sends out another Lunatone. So I Feint Attack again. I am able to laser this second Lunatone as well. And his third Pokemon is a Parasect, a Pokemon that we love to see. It's a low BST Pokemon that we could probably heal and set up against. So I use my one and only max potion that I got throughout the entirety of the game. By the way, we also got 0 full restores as well. And the Parasect ends up using Thunder Wave, paralyzing us, but we have a Lumberry. And we most likely know that this Parasect will use Thunder Wave again next turn. So we Tail Glow, getting our special attack maxed out. It does Thunder Wave again. But instead of healing off the paralysis, I go into the bag and I set up a dire hit, increasing our crit chance. Parasect now clicks Sandstorm, so he's causing damage every turn. We continue to set up. We click X Speed to speed up NBA Center. Now Parasect uses Ice Ball, which is great for us to see because we know he'll be locked into that move next turn. And now we heal off the paralysis. We take one last Ice Ball and we click Ice Beam, lasered. Crobat comes out, Ice Beam, laser. Aerodactyl comes out, another Pokemon weak to ice, Ice Beam, another laser. Now there is one Pokemon left. One Pokemon standing in the way between NBA Center being a Kaizo Ironmon champion or being a loser like the 640 before him. And Steven sends out a Persian. And normally I would love to see a Persian. It's a low BST Pokemon that normally you don't need to worry about. However, we know this Persian is very fast, and at some point, it did have Explosion. We click Ice Beam. Octozooka, it's faster than us. Please, our accuracy don't go down. Persian did have Explosion earlier in the run. No longer has it. We are now Kaizo Ironmon Emerald champions, everybody. Let's go. Let's go. Emerald is done. If you like the Kaizo Ironmon challenge, click that subscribe button. I stream this challenge constantly right here on YouTube. Don't even need to go to another platform. However, if you want to see another victory video, click this link right over here. This is when I won with Biggie in Pokemon Leaf Green. But thanks for watching. That's it.